Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Breed Softball Park. I'm your commentator tonight from Lytton Educational Television, Sean Donahue, and we got some CCL softball, whereas the St. Mary's Spartans are hosting the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks, and it's a beautiful May afternoon. We're happy to bring you tonight's game. Bishop Feehan going to lead us off. First to start it off is Copel, wearing number 5, and playing in the shortstop position today. On the mound for St. Mary's, wearing number 14, Creen Oviedo. So she's used to what we're seeing. Short, choppy ground ball hit to the second baseman out of St. Mary's. Quick up and down for their first out. Good heads-up play by the second baseman. Wearing number 10, Walsh, out of St. Mary's. So Copel goes up, goes down with a ground out. Next up, for the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks, Perea. Ground ball along the first baseline. That one's going to roll foul. St. Mary's coming into this one with a record of 8-4. Next game versus Spellman. And Bishop Feehan coming in with a commanding record of 13-1. Their next game also against Spellman. Creen Oviedo drives one in. Not exactly where she wanted it. Swing and a miss, strike call. High and outside. Creen Oviedo gets the call, delivers a little bit outside. 1-2 count here. Perea, the catcher, up at bat right now, high and inside. Congratulated on her ability to see balls and strikes. She'll take the walk. Next up for the Shamrocks, wearing number 3, Rammer. Rammer will be playing in the pitching position today. So 1 out, 1 on for the Shamrocks. Creen Oviedo drives one down the middle. Swinging a short ground ball right in front of the catcher, thrown out for first, and an opportunity at second play there. St. Mary's a little bit too late. So Rammer will go down with a ground out. Perea gets over to second. Next up to bat for the Shamrocks, wearing number 14, Silva. Silva playing in the first base position today. Creen Oviedo gets the call. Drives it right inside, ball call there. Braid behind the plate today, as usual. Silver awaits the pitch, the delivery, gets a piece of that one. Line drive right to the first baseman out of St. Mary's for out number 3. Good heads-up play by the first baseman out of St. Mary's, Williams, to drive that one in for the third out. So as we head into the bottom of the first, the score is 0-0. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back, bottom of the first. Leading it off for the Spartans is going to be DeSessa. DeSessa playing in the shortstop position today for St. Mary's, wearing number 2. St. Mary's coming into this one with a record of 8-4. They're playing against Spellman next week, or later on this week, rather. A lot of makeup games this week, as the field conditions down here at Breed were not all that good. On the mound for Bishop Feehan is Rammer, and behind the plate is Perea. Swinging a miss, strike call. Takes a shot at that one. Short, choppy ground ball along the first baseline. And looking for a foul call. Get an out call from the first base umpire. So it looks like DeSessa's going to go down with a ground out. And her first at bat, Walsh. Next batter up for the Spartans, wearing number 10, playing in the second base position. Pitch there, a little high and away. 1-0 count. Pitch, solid swing, straight down the middle, 1-1 count. Walsh trying to get all that one. Timing off just a bit. Two and one. Walsh awaits the pitch. Says, I don't think so on that one. A little bit too outside and high for me. Pitch. High fastball, and Walsh takes a swing at it. 3-1 count here for Walsh. One out for the Spartans. No base runners on. So it must have been a 3-2 count on the last pitch. Walsh goes down with his first strikeout of the day. Williams, the next batter up, wearing 22, playing in the first base position for St. Mary's. The pitch gets a piece of that one right over the shortstop's head into center field. Williams going to get on first. Hitting the gap. Braid, the catcher, up next for the Spartans. 2 outs here. 1 on. And Braid got some speed behind those swings. So let's see what the catcher out of St. Mary's can put together here. Braid awaits the pitch. Little inside, thrown back to first, trying for the cutoff. And Williams quick enough to get back. Roma Braid in the box. Checking back to the base runner at first. And that's Williams after the line drive right over the Bishop Feehan shortstop. Inside, Brady takes a beating, and she'll take a walk on over to first. Williams will head to second, and Mahoney, the left fielder, to step up next in the batter's box for the Spartans. Usually we can't hear him, but that one we heard. I think they're going to give Braid a pinch runner out there, and we'll get a number for you in a second. Usually it's Salona. She's got the wheels. So Mahoney awaits the pitch. A little outside for her liking. Takes her first ball. Strike call. So 1-1 count. I think we got 3-1 now, but our scoreboards down here at Breed. So we've been relying on the game catcher stats. So 2-2, third strike there for Mahoney. Mahoney goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts on the inning for the pitcher out of Bishop Feehan. Not so much a 3 up, 3 down. A couple base runners getting on. And good job by Rama to strike out 2 Spartans in the bottom of the first. So as we head into the top of the second, still 0-0. We'll be back after this break. And we're back. Top of the second. And leading it off for the Shamrocks, we're number 14, Silva. So 3 up, 3 down inning for the Spartans in inning 1. Ground out and a walk. 1 up, 1 walk, and 2 outs. So batter up, Abreu for the Shamrocks. First at bat of the day for the second baseman. Gets a piece of that one, hits it over the shortstop's head into left field. Thinking about for second, St. Mary's quick to collect it, toss it back in for the cutoff. So Abreu gets on and Camia up next. Camia playing in the shortstop position. Wearing number 2, first at bat of the day. Eliza Creen Oviedo on the mound today for the Spartans, showing bunt and gets under that one. Fouled off along the pitch, backstop. Roma Braid quick to collect it. No outs, 1 on here for the Shamrocks. If you're just joining us, you're watching CCL softball. St. Mary's coming to this one with a record of 8-4. Braid trying for the cutoff and trying to catch Abreu sleeping. Able to get back there in time. High fly ball. Looks like that one's going to stay right underneath Creen Oviedo. She can't get there. Braid picks it up, going for the force out at second. And Spartans get something out of it as they send Abreu packing. Kamaya will head to first, and Devaney, wearing 23, playing in the third base position, is going to step up to the plate. Strike call there for Creen Oviedo. 0-1 count. First of the bat of the day for Devaney. Braid again trying for the cutoff at first. Too quick to get back. So another attempt at the pickoff at first. Safe call. Devaney steps back up into the batter's box. Strike call there. Creen Oviedo working towards her first strikeout of the day. Short, choppy ground ball right back to the mound. They get the force out at first and trying for the cutoff at second. And they fail on that one. So 2 outs. Devaney goes down with a ground out. And Cook, the DP position today, wearing number 11, the next batter up. First pitch fouled away, 0-1 count. Green Oviedo looking for a way out of this inning to get the Spartans back up to the dish. And she won't find it there, ball call. So 2-1 count here for Cook. 2 outs, 1 base runner on in scoring position. The pitch from Green Oviedo. Cook gets on top of it, fouls that one back. Strike 3 call, first of the day for Green Oviedo. Cook will go down swinging. And as we approach the bottom of the second, still 0-0. We'll be back after this break. And we're back, bottom of the second. 0-0 score here. Let's see if we can get our lineup ready for St. Mary's. 3 o'clock start time today. So tough for us to get over here. I'm doing a little bit of lineup detail as we watch the game. Morgan in the DP position. We're in number 21. Up at bat for the Spartans. Hosting Bishop Feehan. Feehan coming in with a record of 13-1. And certainly a top contender in the CCL. St. Mary's. A lot of seniors graduating last year. It's still some recognizable names. The pitch, Morgan takes a commanding swing, catches nothing but air. And Reimer, the pitcher up. 2 strikeouts so far today for the pitcher out of Bishop Feehan. Make it 3. Morgan goes down swinging. Souza comes up next. Souza playing in the right field position today for the Spartans. We're in number 7. First at bat of the day for Souza. Low. Souza says no way. Pitch on the plane, but a little outside. Reimer delivers one with authority. Strike call. 2-1 count. So strike 3 must be off on my counts today. Souza goes down swinging right away. So the right fielder will head back empty-handed to the St. Mary's dugout. Napoli next up to bat, playing in the third base position. We're in number 25. And 4 strikeouts on the day for Reimer. Throws one in there with some steam. Napoli takes a second to compose herself by stepping back into the box. The pitch from Reimer, strike 2. Bringing the steam. Reimer waits the call, obliges. Swing, strike 3, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Spartans as we head into the top of the third. St. Mary's 0, Bishop Feehan 0. We'll be back after this break. Top of the third, leading off for the Shamrocks, Murray. Murray playing in the right field position today. We're in 17. Eliza Green Oviedo on the mound today for the Spartans. Behind the plate, Roma Braid. And a 0-0 score if you're just joining us. First at bat of the day for Murray. Gets a piece of that one. Hit right over to the St. Mary's shortstop for out number 1. So Murray goes down swinging. Gets a piece of contact on it. but can't get to the base in time. Put to rest by the shortstop, DeCessa. Good heads-up play by the infielder out of St. Mary's. Next batter up for the Shamrocks, Feehan. Feehan, a flex player. And we'll have the responsibility of left field. We're number 8, first at bat of the day. Green Oviedo drives one in, low and away, ball call. Braid gets the order. Green Oviedo delivers with authority, strike call there. One strikeout on the day so far for Green Oviedo. Ball call. Gets a piece of that one right to the second baseman out of St. Mary's for out number 2. And a good job by Walsh to ensure the second out of the inning. So Feehan goes out with a line drive shot to second base. Back to the top of the Feehan lineup. Kupel up next. Gets a piece of that one. High and away. Looks like it's going to land in fair territory. And a late foul ball call. We'll send Kupel packing back to the batter's box. A tough vantage point for us here. And she was wondering too, should I be taking second or not? A ground out in her first at bat. See what she can put together here. Green Oviedo gets the call from Braid. Strike call there. The pitch, low and away, or low and right on. Second strikeout of the day for Green Oviedo. And the third out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down inning, quite competitive. Bit of a defensive struggle as we head into the bottom of the third. And as we do, same score as we started, 0-0. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back, bottom of the third. Leading it off the center fielder, Aumi. Kid's got the wheels. First at bat of the day for the center fielder. Aumi showing bunt there. The Feehan infield quick to make the adjustment. Gets a piece of that one. Line drive and a left field. And Aumi gets on the first. Green Oviedo, the pitcher, up next. Well, we could be back to the back of the top of the lineup. We'll get a zoom in here, see if we can get a number on the batter. I believe we got number 2, and that means we're going to the top of the lineup, DeCessa. Second at bat of the day for DeCessa. A ground out in her first. Show and bunt, ball call. Show and bunt again. Gets under that one. Almost an out. Perea close to catching it off of the foul. Rama lines it up. Line drive along the first baseline, called foul. And DeSessa making Rama work for it after a 3-up, 3-down inning in the second. Trying for the cutout at first. Oumi can't get back in time. Feehan earns their first out on the liberal lead from the center fielder out of St. Mary's. So Rama looking at a batter on, or base runner on, and Feehan quick for the pickoff. DeSessa awaits the pitch, gets a piece of that one, fouled back along the backstop. So Feehan coming to this one defensively sound, and you don't earn a 13-1 record this late in the season without being so consistently. Certainly, some of the top competition St. Mary's seen defensively. DeSessa watches one sail pass for her first strikeout of the day, 5th on the day for Rama. And St. Mary's struggling to get back on base. Walsh, the next batter up for the Spartans, playing in the second base position. Walsh with a strikeout in her first at bat, trying to find redemption right here against Rama. Walsh awaits the pitch, takes a cut, strike call, catches nothing but air. Rama gets the call, delivers, high ball, 1-2 count. Rama delivers that one. Walsh takes a cut, gets under it a little bit too much, fouls that one back into the Breed entrance. Second at bat of the day for Walsh. Trying here, call strike 3. 2 strikeouts and 1 pickoff. And as we head into the top of the 4th, Rama is boasting 6 strikeouts on the day so far. Kid brought the steam all the way from Feehan. As we head into the top of the 4th, still 0-0. We'll be back after this break. Top of the 4th, St. Mary's hosting Bishop Feehan. Spartans versus Shamrocks. 0-0 score right here. A bit of a defensive struggle. Perea, the next batter up. Second at bat of the day for Perea. Had a walk in her first at bat. And a high fly ball makes it way over the backstop and out of play. 0-1 count here for the catcher. Out of Bishop Feehan, wearing number 25. On the mound for the Spartans, Eliza Crean Oviedo, and behind the plate, Roma Braid. St. Mary's with a record of 8-4 right now. Bishop Feehan 13-1. Crean Oviedo delivers a little inside. 2-1 count here for Perea. Takes a piece of that one. Just a little bit too much under it. That one fouls off the backstop. Two and 2 count. Full count here. 2 strikeouts on the day so far for Crean Oviedo. High fly ball. Looks like that one's going to sail out of play. Braid quick to react. Perea waits the pitch from Crean Oviedo. Ball 4, second walk of the day. Rama, the pitcher, up next for the Shamrocks. Our ground out in her first at-bat. But when you got 6 strikeouts in 3 innings, who cares? I'm sure she does. Trying to find redemption here. She's got 1 base runner on. Showing bunt. And nothing there. And I could have the lineup wrong here. So ground ball there, Braid to react, but lets that one roll foul. And it was actually Rama on the walk. Gets a piece of that one, but just a little bit too under it. So Silva, the batter up for Bishop Feehan. A ground out in her first at bat. Crean Oviedo delivers outside. Braid checking the base runner at first. Gets a piece of that one right back to Crean Oviedo. Goes for the force out at first. And they're able to get it. They try at second. So Silva goes down with a ground out at first. One out here for the Shamrocks. Rama advances to second. Brio, the batter up for the Shamrocks. 1 out, 1 on, in scoring position. The pitch from Crean Oviedo, right where she wants it. Brio caught swinging. Single in her first at-bat. Got caught on her way to second. Brio, the batter up, right underneath the first baseman out of St. Mary's. Second out of the inning. And Brio, the second baseman, goes down with a fly out. Kamiya, the next batter up, a single in her last at-bat. Crean Oviedo drives a pitch in. Gets a ball call there. Strike, 1-1. High and away, 2-1. So fielding the base runner, I believe on for Rama, fielding playing in this flex position. Her defensive responsibilities are in left field today. Crean Oviedo delivers Low and inside. Second walk of the inning. And Kamiya heads down to first for the trot. Devaney, the next batter up for the Shamrocks. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position for Bishop Feehan. Devaney playing in the third base position today. And looks like the St. Mary's coaching staff's going to come out and chalk it up with Crean Oviedo on all the opportunities or potential defensive threats that they could see here, whether it be no sacrifice opportunities for Bishop Feehan. We'll take this time to say thanks to our viewers. If you're watching on our YouTube page, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events. If you're watching on our Comcast or Verizon channels, we say thanks for your subscription. Without you, we wouldn't be able to offer television media as a curriculum to all the middle schools and high schools here in the Linton Public Schools District. We got our guys from Classical up in the perch. Davian and Ryan bringing you these smooth and steady shots. I'm your commentator, Sean Donahue. Thanks for joining us for some CCL softball. Back to the action. Crean Oviedo delivers. Strike call there for Devaney. Pitch, ball call there. So 2 outs, 2 on, 1-1 count here for Devaney. 2-1 count. Crean Oviedo gets the order from Braid. The delivery. Short, choppy ground ball. That one gets past Braid. Quick on the second. Force out at second. Fails. What should have been a quick, easy out for the Spartan infield turns into an opportunity for Cook to bat some base runners in. 2 outs. Loaded bases here. Devaney gets on with a single after the error from short into second. Cook in the DP position today, her second at bat. Crean Oviedo found the strike zone 3 times and earned her first strikeout of the game. Cook steps back up into the batter's box. Awaits the pitch from Crean Oviedo. Gets a piece of that one right back to the pitching mound. And they get the force out at first. So a hairy inning for the Spartans, able to hold off the Shamrocks to a 0 inning. So as we head in to the bottom of the 4th, we're still looking at a 0-0 score. We'll be back after this break. Bottom of the 4th, Williams leading it off for the Spartans. The first baseman out of St. Mary's. Swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Story of the game has been on the pitching mound for the Shamrocks. Reimer coming out, and I could be saying his name wrong, and I apologize if I am, but 6 strikeouts on the day. Williams gets a piece of that one, fouls it off along the first baseline. 0-2 count here for Williams. Last inning, a 3-up, 3 down for the Spartans. Aoumi, the center fielder, getting on base, but got caught sleeping, and they were able to pick her off. Perea caught her at the first baseline, a little bit with too much of a liberal lead. And Aoumi, even with the speed, couldn't get back in time. Followed by a strikeout from DeSessa and Walsh. Projected us into the 4th inning, and here we are again with Williams up at bat. A single in her first at bat. High and inside, shies away from that one. One and 2 count here for Williams. Gets a piece of that one right back at the pitcher. I think she was able to shield herself with the glove. Deflects over to the third baseman. And the infield comes in to check on Reimer. Williams batting 1,000 today. Gets herself a second single. And Reimer must be a big part of this defense here for Bishop Feehan. as pretty much everybody from the infield to the coaching staff on the bench came in to check on her after that line drive delivered by Williams. Roma Braid, the catcher, up next for the Spartans. Braid getting hit in her first at bat. Ended up coming off with a pinch runner. So let's see if they bring Braid in again. And Braid is up. Second at bat of the day for Roma Braid. One on, no outs for the Spartans. Perea gets the call, and Rama obliges. Tosses it down the middle. Fouled away. Braid getting under that one a little bit too much. 0-1 count here for the catcher out of St. Mary's. Gets a piece of that one along the first baseline. That one's going to fall foul. Williams gets a pinch runner, and we'll get it from the lineup. He's on first. Braid awaits the pitch again. Low. Congratulated on our ability to see balls and strikes. Takes a step out of the box. Look down to the coach, see what do we want. And Salona, the pinch runner at first. High fly ball. Looks like that one's going to fall out of play and hit the gap where nor the second baseman or the right fielder would have been able to get there. Maybe a little bit more hang time. Braid's happy about that one getting out of play. Takes her time to collect herself and steps back up to the dish. Trying for the cutoff at first. Salona quick to get back. 0-2 count here for Braid. Sorry, 1-2. Gets a piece of that one. Line drive to the second baseman. They'll get Braid on the force out. Salona will advance to second. Mahoney, the next batter up for the Spartans. Mahoney playing in the left field position. Wearing number 9, a strikeout in her first at-bat. Second at-bat of the day. One out for the Spartans, one on in scoring position. Salona, the pinch runner for Williams after the single. Romer delivers, swing and a miss. 0-1 count for Mahoney. Romer delivers, strike call there. 0-2 count. Gets under that one, fouls it away off the backstop. So Mahoney keeps it alive. Romer with the delivery, a little low. Mahoney congratulated on our ability to see balls and strikes, staying away from that one. Trying to find redemption here. First at bat of the day, and the first for Mahoney, a strikeout. 1 of 6 today, delivered by Romer. Ball called there, 1-2 count. Mahoney making Romer work for it. Perea barks out the orders, delivers. Mahoney goes down with a ground out. Well, that'll advance Salona to third. 2 outs for the Spartans as Morgan steps up to the plate for the second time today. A strikeout in her first at-bat. Fouls that one off the backstop. And Morgan, some speed behind that swing there. Romer gets the call. Happy to pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2 count here for Morgan. The leading run on third for the Spartans. 2 outs here. Morgan in the DP position today, being asked to get a single for the Spartans. High and inside forces her to back up off of that one. 1-2 count for Morgan. The pitch just outside, 2-2. Salona pinch running for Williams, makes her way to second on the first ground out, and then to third on the second. Swing and a miss, and Morgan goes down swinging. 7th strikeout of the day for Romer. So 1 single, 3 outs thereafter. Still 0-0 as we head into the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th, leading it off for the Shamrocks is going to be Murray. Murray playing in the right field position today. A ground out in her first at bat. And apologies for the lack of understanding of the batting lineup in the top of the 4th. I believe that we were 1 batter off throughout. We made our adjustment after the walk to Camia. Green Oviedo on the mound today for the Spartans. Braid backing her up behind the plate. And a defensive struggle, still 0-0 as we are in the top of the 5th. Pitch, swing and a miss for Murray. Green Oviedo delivers, check swing there. Murray thinking about it. So 3-2 count. Gets a piece of that one. St. Mary's shortstop able to pick it up and gets the first out of the inning. Good heads-up play by DeSessa to ensure the ground out. Second of the day for Murray. Fielding the next batter up, wearing number 8, playing in the left field position. Also as a flex player, we saw her as a pinch runner in the last inning. Eliza Green Oviedo delivers foul ball off the third baseline. That one's going to go out of bounds. Fly out in her first at bat. Fielding trying to find redemption here against Green Oviedo. The pitch, bunt, foul ball. And another quick adjustment. We've actually got Copel up. So Copel, wearing number 5, playing in the shortstop position. Third at bat of the day. Ground out in her first, a strikeout in her last. Gets a piece of that one, but fouls it into the St. Mary's dugout. So again, my bad on our batting lineup. I think we got a good grasp on it now. I'm reading off of that carbon copy to begin the game. Quick start for us, 3 o'clock here. But we were able to get over here and get our setup, and lineups are in order. So I promise to be at my best for the remainder of the game. Big CCL matchup here. Spartans trying to keep their winning streak alive. Foul ball along the third baseline. And Copel gets a piece of that one. Hits a rocket into left field. And luckily for the St. Mary's defense, that one sails foul. 2-2 count here for Copel. One out for the Shamrocks. The pitch from Eliza Creen-Oviedo sneaks that one past the shortstop into left field. St. Mary's quick to recover and get to the cutoff at second. And Copel gets on with a single. Perea, the next batter up. Perea playing in the catching position today. 2 walks in her first at-bats. Creen-Oviedo gets the call from Braid, showing bunt. Braid showing the base runner at first. She's got the ball and she can deliver it quickly. Copel quick to retreat. The pitch, bunt again. That one stays foul. Braid quick to recover. One out, one on for the Shamrocks. Perea in a third at bat of the day. Creen-Oviedo's pitch called strike. One and two count here for Perea. Gets a piece of that one. High fly ball. Looks like it's going to sail foul. And nobody called cherry picking at the beginning of this one, so that'll be a foul ball. And Perea gets back to work. The pitch, strike 3, third of the day for Creen-Oviedo. So 2 outs. One on for the Shamrock as Rama, the pitcher, steps up to bat. Rama, so far today, the story on the defensive struggle here between St. Mary's and Bishop Feehan. Creen-Oviedo's pitch, high and away. And Braid will come out to have a discussion with Creen-Oviedo. The pitch, just a little low. And Miley Rama, the pitcher, who's up to bat right now for the Shamrocks, congratulated on her ability to see balls and strikes. So 2-1 count here for the pitcher out of Bishop Feehan. Rama with a ground out in her first at bat and a walk in her second. And she'll take the trot there after ball 4. Silva, the next batter up for the Shamrocks. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Silva due for an at-bat and on base. And it looks like they'll pinch run for Rama, the pitcher. And Fielding was the last pinch runner for the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks. Silva, the batter. Strike call there for Creen-Oviedo. Good start to the at-bat. One and one count. Green Oviedo just approaching 90 pitches on the day so far. Loses track of that one. Braid quick to retreat. Both base runners will advance, so 2 outs, now 2 on in scoring position. Silva getting the confidence of the Bishop Feehan dugout. She's due for a hit. Green Oviedo gets the call from Braid, delivers. Ball call there. So 2-1 count here for Silva. Braid barks out the order. Green Oviedo 3-1. Gets a piece of that one right to the St. Mary's second baseman for out number 3. And St. Mary's gets through another one and keeps Bishop Feehan scoreless. Silva goes down with a ground out, leading off, and the top of the 6th will be a Brio. So as we head into the bottom of the 5th, 0-0. We'll be back after this break. And we're back. Bottom of the 5th inning. 0-0 score here today. Bit of a defensive struggle if you're just joining us. Souza, the batter up for the Spartans, second at bat of the day. Trying to find redemption against Rama. Rama on the hunt for strikeouts. She's been on all day. 7 Ks on the day for the Shamrock on the mound. Rama just at 66 pitches so far. And a few 3 up, 3 down innings for the Spartans has kept their pitch count low. Souza takes a strike there, 3-1 count. The right fielder awaits the pitch. Strike call, full count. Souza awaits the pitch from Rama. The pitch. Strike call there. And Souza quick to turn around. Disagrees with another great vantage point for us back here. We're a little off to our left. So I'm not the best guy to make the call. Napoli, the next batter up for the Spartans. Also trying to find redemption against Rama. Rama now with 8 strikeouts on the day. Most I've seen here is 12. But I've got a short career. I'm sure Mr. Hoffman can cite the date and who it was and which batters struck out all the way back to 1986 when we started this thing. Swing and a miss there for Napoli. Rama gets the call from Pereira. Pereira must have called it right as Napoli goes down swinging, second strikeout of the day. Owumi, the center fielder, the next up for the St. Mary's Spartans, getting on base, but caught with a liberal lead from first and got a pickoff. That was the first out of the 3rd inning. So Owumi has to find her way back on a base to keep this one alive for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 5th. Short ground ball over to the second baseman for Bishop Feehan. And another 3 up, 3 down inning for the Spartans as we head in to the top of the 6th, 0-0. We'll be back after this break. Top of the 6th, 0-0. CCL softball leading it up here for the Shamrocks. Abreu. Fly out in her last at bat, a single in her first. Got caught running a second on the out in her first at bat. Playing in the second base position today. Eliza Green Oviedo on the mound, Braid behind the plate for the Spartans. The pitch, ground ball over to the third baseman from St. Mary's. Second out of the inning. First out of the inning. On a ground out for Abrio. Next up is Camia. Camia with a walk on her last at bat. And a great job by Napoli to get there. Toss it over to first and find Williams on the first out. Foul ball along the first baseline. That one out of play. Camia with a single in her first at bat and a walk on her last. The pitch from Creen Oviedo. Called ball. Camia playing in the center field position today for the Shamrocks. So 1-2 count here. Creen Oviedo approaching 100 pitches with this one. Ground ball over to Napoli. Toss out at Williams for the second out of the inning. And St. Mary's infield doing their best to try to keep Eliza Creen Oviedo's pitch count a little lower as we approach the top of the seventh. I'm sorry, bottom of the sixth here. Devaney, the next batter up for the Shamrocks, wearing 23, playing in the third base position today. And certainly looks like a third baseman, has the height. Gets down low to shrink that strike zone against Creen Oviedo. And has a little bit of success. Devaney with a ground out in her first at bat and a single in her last. Ground ball back to Napoli. Over to Williams. Deja vu. Deja vu, no so. Williams trying to stretch out for that one. Loses her footing and then possession of the ball. So Devaney gets on again. 2 outs for the Shamrocks. Cook, the DP, stepping up. Cook wearing a number 11. Strikeout in her first at bat, a ground out in her last. And we could be seeing a pinch batter coming up here. We'll ask Ryan to zoom in, see if we can get a number on the batter. And we'll try to get it next one. Creen Oviedo delivers a strike straight down the middle. And it looks like I got number 4. And Ryan's got 4 too. So we'll check back to the Feehan lineup, get your name. Ground ball over there to Eliza Creen Oviedo for the third out. And the batter up was Cox. Cox will go down with a ground out in her first at bat. So Cox coming in to pinch hit for Cook. St. Mary's able to keep their gusto and hold the Shamrocks to another 0 as we head into the bottom of the 6th. We'll be back after this break. Bottom of the 6th, 0-0 score here. A bit of a defensive struggle for both teams. Story of the day so far, 8 strikeouts on the night for Rahmer, the Shamrock on the mound. DeSessa, the batter up for the Spartans, a strikeout in her last and a ground out in her first, trying to find redemption here against the 13-1 Shamrocks. Last time these teams played against each other, Feehan walked away with a 14-8 victory. St. Mary's right now running in the middle of the pack, 8-4 on the record. And DeSessa digs it out, gets to first, but not in time. They call her out. And a lot of hands on the heads back in center field over here on that one. Walsh, the next batter up for the Spartans. Walsh with 2 strikeouts on the day so far. Playing a great game defensively, like everybody is today. Gets a piece of that one, but nobody would rather get the bat on the ball than Walsh here as we approach the 7th inning here in a scoreless CCL softball game. Somebody's going to be the hero, and Walsh is thinking, why not me? Check swing. Strike call. Strike 3 call against Walsh. So 3 pitches for Rama. 81 on the day so far. Her 9th strikeout on the day. Williams, the first baseman, up next for the Spartans. Swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Williams having a lot of success getting onto the base today. 2 singles in her first 2 at-bats. Trying to replicate that today. Rama trying to find number 10 here. Pitch to Williams, high fastball. 0-2. Williams awaits the pitch from Rama. Rama gets the call from Perea. Ball inside, 1-2 count. Pitch from Rama, swing and a miss. 10 strikeouts on the day for the Shamrocks. Williams goes down swinging with a first out on the inning. Leading it off for the Spartans as we head into the bottom of the 7th is going to be Roma Braid. And leading it off here in the top of the 7th is going to be Murray. So we'll be back after this break. Still 0-0 score in this CCL softball matchup. Top of the 7th, 0-0 score. Showing bunt right there, Murray. St. Mary's defense quick to recover. They get the ground out. Williams stretches out for that one. And nobody able to get across home plate today in this one so far. Copel back to the top of the lineup for the Shamrocks. Last time these teams played, Feehan walked away with a victory, 14-8. Braid's going to give the timeout call to the ump and step out with coach to have a conversation with Crean Oviedo. Crean Oviedo with 108 pitches on the day so far. Copel 1 for 3. Got herself on to first base in the 5th inning. Crean Oviedo with 3 strikeouts on the day so far. And Rama, the pitcher for the Shamrocks, 10 on the day. Again, most I've seen down here is 12. I think it was an English-Chelsea matchup. Copel steps back up into the batter's box after the timeout. Crean Oviedo delivers, ball call there. 1-1 count for Copel. Sorry, 2-0 count for Copel. Crean Oviedo delivers, 3-0. Crean Oviedo delivers a strike, 3-1 count for Copel. The shortstop out of St. Mary's. Bishop Feehan. St. Mary's with an 8-4 record. Bishop Feehan, one of the top dogs in the CCL, 13-1. Line drive along the third baseline. That one rolls all the way to the fence in left field. Foul ball. And Copel will get back to the batter's box and to work. So full count here for the shortstop out of St. Mary's. And the pitch low and away, called ball 4. Copel will take the trot down to first, and Braid will come on out to the mound. 111 pitches on the day for Crean Oviedo. And Braid says, you've been pitching a great game so far, kid, and probably one of the best that we've seen. And the infield has really checked in today against their CCL rival. from Bishop Feehan. Strike call there for Crean Oviedo. Perea, the catcher, up at bat for the Shamrocks today. Strikeout in her last at bat. Gets a piece of that one. Hit in the right field. St. Mary's able to field it. Trying for the cutoff. Hits the umpire. Trying over to 3. Second baseman out of St. Mary's rethinking whether or not we're going to take the risk. So the base runner at first will advance to second and third. And Perea gets on with a double. Rama, the pitcher, up next for the Shamrocks. 1 out, 2 on, both in scoring position. And a rocket hits a right field. St. Mary's right fielder doing a good job trying to get to it. And tries to deliver to Walsh on the cutoff. Hits the umpire. DeCessa fields the rebound. Thinks about going to Napoli. Doesn't see the opportunity there. Looks back to Walsh and says, too late. So the St. Mary's infield coming in. Have a quick conversation on that one. Rama, the pitcher, up at bat. Might have an opportunity to be the big difference maker here on offense, as nobody's been able to cross home plate and earn themselves a run. 0-1 count here for the pitcher out of the Bishop Feehan. High fly ball. Owumi getting under it. Gets it there. They're going to get the tag up at third. And the first run of the day is going to score after the walk to Copel. So Copel, the sole base runner to score and cross home plate. Perea advances to third after the double. And Rama goes down with a fly out. So the sac fly runs us into the second out of the inning and the first run of the game. Silva, the next batter up. Silva playing in the first base position today. Two outs here for the Shamrocks. And a wild pitch, so to say. Forces Braid to retreat and get that one, to hold the base runner up at third. And Perea says, no problem. I'm not going on that one. You guys have been too sound defensively inside, so we'll take another chance at it. Fowler gets a piece of that one. Silva looking at a 1-2 count here. Two outs. Crean Oviedo trying to get out of this one with a base runner in scoring position at third. Takes a piece of that one, fouls it off along the St. Mary's dugout. Just about 120 pitches on the day for Crean Oviedo. 3 Ks on the day for the Spartan on the mound. Strike 3 call and a 4th on the day for Crean Oviedo to get out of the 7th. And as the St. Mary's Spartans head into the bottom of the 7th, they've got a 1-run hole to dig themselves out of. Can they score 2 in the bottom of the 7th? We'll wait as we approach the bottom of the 7th. St. Mary's trying to find their way back into this one. Bishop Feehan 1, St. Mary's 0. Will be back after this break. Bottom of the 7th, Roma Braid stepping up to the plate for the Spartans, playing in the catching position all day. 1-0 score. Bishop Feehan earning their first run last inning. Braid takes a swing at that one, fouls it off. Back behind the backstop. 0-1 count here for the pitcher out of St. Mary's. And Rama, the pitcher for the Shamrocks, batting in the first and only run of the game here. And Rama, 10 strikeouts on the day. comes in for what should be her last at bat of the game and knocks in a run with Copel sitting pretty at third. So 1-0 here. CCL matchup. Last time these teams faced off, Feehan walked away with a 14-8 victory. Roma Braid, the batter, got beamed in the first inning, her first at bat, a ground out in the last one, and trying to find her way on a first base today. It's Roma Braid. Swing and a miss. Braid goes down swinging. No, not just yet. She made it look like she was. 2-1 count here for Braid. Well, what 2-2 count here for Braid? Sorry. The pitch gets a piece of that one. Hit it in the left field. Over to left field. It's head. Braid's going to round first. Head in a second. She'll have a stand-up double. And Braid making it count where it needs to be. Right here in the bottom of the seventh with the double. First at bat of the inning. No outs for the Spartans. One on when scoring position as Mahoney steps up to the plate. And the pitch count starting to add up for Rama as she gets into the 90s. And that one just a little out of reach for the left fielder out of Bishop Feehan. Wearing number 8 fielding, playing in the flex position today. And the Bishop Feehan coaching staff's going to come out and have a quick conversation with Rama. 10 strikeouts on the day so far for Rama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perea doing a good job at backing her up behind the plate. And Braid, with some success in her last at bat, gets her way on a second with a stand-up double with a rocket hit in the left field. Next up should be Mahoney, wearing number 9, playing in the left field position, showing bunt. And I believe we have a pinch batter up. Wearing number 5. So they get a name for you on that one. So pinch hitter here showing foul, showing bunt. Fouls that one along the first base line. And pinch batting for Mahoney. It's going to be Pimentel. Hits that one right in between the gap. Braid's going to advance to third. And a great shot by the pinch batter, Pimentel, to get on with a single. So no outs here. 2 on. Roma Braid in scoring position at third. And Morgan, the DP, the next batter up for the Spartans. The pitch from Brahma. Little high. 1-0 count here for Morgan. Morgan watches that one fall ball all day. No outs, 2 on for the Spartans. Spartans trailing 1-0 against the Shamrocks. 13-1 record for the Shamrocks, 8-4 record here for the Spartans. And if you watch the last game between these two teams, you wouldn't think it to be so close. As the season progresses, we see a lot of adjustments and the skill set develops, like in any high school sport. Fouls that one off along the first baseline. Morgan gets back to it. The pitch from Romer. Ground ball, hit back to the pitcher at Romer. And Braid thinking about going and knows enough about baseball to say, I'm not going to get caught in a rundown situation while we're at and on third. So the hesitation coming from Romer results in a single for Morgan, but holds off the run for St. Mary's. Next batter out for the Spartans should be Souza. Souza with 2 strikeouts on the day. No outs for the Spartans. Loaded bases. Bottom of the 7th, St. Mary's trailing 1. And a deep shot to left field will do it for the Spartans. Souza takes a cut at that one. Strike. Romer now over 100 pitches. St. Mary's really getting their money's worth. High fly ball over to center field. That one has a chance to get out right underneath. The center fielder, Braid's going to tag up. Can she get home in time? And she does. St. Mary's tying it up here in the bottom of the 7th on the attempt for the throw out. Both other base runners will advance. And Souza goes down with a fly out, but we'll call it a sac fly. Napoli, the next batter up for the Spartans. So Braid scoring the first run for the Spartans. Second run of the game. Both Pimentel and Morgan going to advance. Pimentel at third and Morgan at second. And a lot of chit-chat happening in the dugouts. And we'll see if we got a pinch batter coming up or a pinch runner coming on. I think they'll keep Pimentel over at third. She's got the wheels. Napoli, the next batter up for the Spartans. 1-1 score here, bottom of the 7th. Both teams digging their way into a run, into a run here in the 7th. Rama starting out strong with a handful of strikeouts, getting all the way to 10, and has a bit of a drought here on the strike zone. St. Mary's capitalizing on that one. Great job by the center fielder. Kamiya, sorry. Strike call there. Kamiya getting under that one. Solid throw from center field, deep in center field. All the way to home, but not fast enough to get Braid. But just enough to keep Pimentel up at third. The pitch. Caught looking. So Owumi, the batter up. Hits that one. Might hit the gap. That one's going to fall fair. And St. Mary's going to walk away with the victory. Final home plate crossing is Pimentel, and the girls are psyched. Great defensive effort by both teams, making it count here most in the 7th. And you got your money's worth if you stuck around. Owumi hitting the final RBI to drive in Pimentel, who was at third. So St. Mary's is going to walk away with a 2-1 victory earned late here in the CCL matchup. Bishop Feehan going to follow a record of 13-2. They got Spellman next. St. Mary's going to improve to a record of 9-4. Both teams scoring in the 7th. St. Mary's scoring more, so they're going to walk away the victor. They also got Spellman next. And boy, howdy, what a great game. Good defensive effort. I want to say thanks to my crew from Classical, Ryan and Davian up at the perch, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. I want to say thanks to you, our viewership. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports events happening right here in the Lynn Public Schools. From the Breed Field, I'm your commentator, Sean Donahue from Lynn Educational Television, wishing you all the best.